Alright, this isn't your typical video, and this certainly isn't your typical camera, but today we talk a little bit about this little guy and why this just might be right for you. Insta360 came out with the Ace Pro 2 a little while ago, and I had to say I've actually used this for quite some time now, but this is definitely a new way to actually capture things. Not this format per se, but I think it definitely brings a certain element that most people have never seen. Packed away in this modular design here is the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 Pocket Printer Edition. This is their new modular system that allows you to actually print photos straight from your Ace Pro 2. Now we're making this video because it's actually interesting. As someone that has access to full-on professional cameras, Insta360 challenged me to actually use this for a little bit on my own, and I have to say it's actually a daily use of mine now. Now, if you didn't know, the actual camera unit itself is just this little guy. And I don't really want to dive too much into the actual camera because there's already so many videos out there, but this little guy is capable of capturing in their iLog footage, meaning they do have a log format of sorts. But the main thing about this camera is that it downsamples from an 8K resolution sensor and is able to take 50 megapixel raw photos. And that's going to be key later because, well, 50 megapixel raw photos is kind of insane. And I think that's what we value a lot with these kind of action cameras because you can just take it and go. Now alone, if you aren't trying to bring a heavy, clunky camera. This is where something like the pocket printer setup might come into play. Now I know what you're thinking. A camera this size, you can't really take that much seriously. But I'd say think again. Because the Ace Pro 2 is definitely more capable than meets the eye, and it does a lot for creators that just want a simple run and gun setup. And what I mean is that now almost anyone can use this. So today we're going to be diving into the camera and the new pocket printer system altogether and how you might benefit from using something like this. Now as you can tell, this now looks like a completely different camera system, although it's all the same. Because wrapped around the new Ace Pro 2 is the Xplorer Grip that adds functionality, modularity, and also ergonomics all in one foul swoop. This kind of mimics that OG Digi-style camera look, but I kind of dig it because it also adds in a bunch of features that is well needed. For one, the entire grip acts as a metal cage, so as you can see, this all here is now protected, allowing you to actually store your camera more safely. Like, that's solid. And all you have to do is actually unlatch this and you can pull your entire camera out, but not before you actually disconnect the USB-C connection that connects all your different functions. Because over on the top here, as you can see, you have a shutter release, a zoom button, as well as a nice dial here that is, albeit very clicky. And then you also have an audio input allowing you to connect any kind of microphones or any kind of receivers. So that's a whole lot of an upgrade, especially for an action camera like this. But they also include an extra USB-C and SD card slot. So an expansion to all of that is kind of nice. And if you were wondering, the entire grip here is also a battery. Extending the battery of the actual unit itself, you now have even more battery life and functionality all in this tiny cage. And an added bonus is the nice textured grip on the front and back, as well as the fact that the actual shutter release, and this is my favorite part here, is actually a soft shutter. So you can remove it and actually customize it with ones that you like. Now, I don't know about you, but having a cage like this just makes this a lot more usable, especially for me. I can't do small, tiny cameras, but I can definitely do something like this. Now, as you start to move away from the cage, you'll also notice the proprietary Insta360 mount, and that actually goes directly in this tiny little piece here. And yes, this is magnetic and is made fully of an aluminum design, so it's pretty durable, but what I really like is that it just kind of clicks into the bottom like this, and it kind of creates a base where you can actually slot the printer right on through. Now, as we start to move away from the cage, they also included this very cool, let me show you, sunshade. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And it's removable. That's even better. So I have a magnetic sunshade that allows me to see everything in broad daylight, but when I don't need it, you can simply just pack it away, or if you just want to remove it, you can go ahead and do that too. Kind of nice. Now, taking a look, this setup is kind of like the ideal setup that a lot of creators want, because when they don't want to have everything all in one, you're able to remove the camera and use it as just a standalone unit. But when you want to use a grip and have that added functionality, you also have that too. Now, this is the part that everyone's talking about. And by no means is this copying anyone, because this is very much unique to Insta360 themselves. This printer is only compatible with your Ace Pro 2. Via a Bluetooth connection, both cameras connect and allows you to print your photos that you take in real time. And what's really cool is that it's fully instantaneous and it only can come from the camera itself. Now, the printer itself has a pretty simple layout with a connection point for the actual camera to connect to, but you also have this side door that allows you to load your cartridges in and out and take up to 20 photos at a time. Using CMYK printing ink, you're able to print out very high quality photos straight from your camera, and that's kind of cool. Typically for a camera that can print on a spot, you know how limiting they are already, but also with the fact that the colors are just what you see and what you get. But with this, you're able to actually select what kind of look you want, especially with the fact that it has its own profiles, allowing this to have a very unique look to each individual user. And all you have to do is actually hold down the button on the side here, which turns on the actual printer, and you can go into the settings of the Ace Pro 2 and connect via Bluetooth. And it's as simple as that. Once your printer is connected, all you have to do is slide your camera on and hit shoot. You'll get a quick pop-up on your menu each time you take a photo, showcasing it, as well as asking if you want to print the photo out yourself. And not only that, you're able to print out any previous photos you've taken on the camera itself, making this a very modular and easy to bring setup. And as you can see, each photo is printed out in each respective color, meaning it takes about 4 different passes before your photo really turns out great. And just like that, you now have a fully printed photo in the palm of your hands, and you're ready to share with all your friends and family. This is a cool photo I took at this new building called The Well, and it's honestly so cool. I love it. I'm gonna pin this up. And if that wasn't enough, Insta360 actually makes this custom leather case for the camera itself, allowing you to actually bring it around wherever you go. That way, my camera is protected at all times, and it also just kind of looks nice and retro. It gives it that kind of retro vibe that we all know and love, except when you open it up, bam, sick printer, bro. And honestly, bringing something this size around just kind of makes it worth it, because I'm able to capture everything the way I want, but also have some really cool memories to share it with. And as you can see from the footage that I captured, you now have a fully functioning video camera. I'm able to capture some amazing photos, and with the fact that it's raw, I'm able to bring it on back into my editing software and actually make all the tweaks I want. Now, what really blew my mind was the amount of looks that also came included with the camera. You're able to capture in a bunch of Leica rated film styles, as well as a bunch of cool color grades that actually make your footage pop. So if you really wanted to, you didn't actually have to shoot in log format, and actually just take this and literally run and gun. And it really got to the point where I was just handing this camera off to anyone I knew, and they were able to just run and gun and start shooting with it with no complications. You didn't get any questions about how to actually start recording, how to change the settings. They instantly knew how to actually use this. And I think that's what this camera is all about, being able to just take it apart and be ready to go and just start shooting on your own just makes this so much easier to use.